You've got Hub by Premier Inn, the new tech-first sibling made for tight city spots. And then there's the classic Premier Inn, the trusted familiar favourite that you see just about everywhere. They share the same parent company and the promise of a good night's sleep, but they have their own distinct branding. Premier Inn's familiar purple and Hub's fresh green. Are they really playing the same game? Is the newer, smaller Hub actually a better experience than the original we all know? This is a question that really splits travellers. Some people are all in on the Hub's smart, compact design, while others will tell you that nothing beats the reliable comfort and sheer space of a traditional Premier Inn. I figured there was only one way to settle this, so I paid to stay at both, a cutting-edge Hub and a classic Premier Inn, to see for myself. We're going to break it all down: the check-in, the room size, the layout, the tech, the bathrooms, the food, and of course the price. By the end, we should know which of these is the true champion of the Premier Inn family. Before we get into it, let's talk about the all-important context. What does all this cost? I booked a standard room at the Premier Inn in York for one night, which set me back £100. For the Hub, I booked a standard room in their London King's Cross location for £78. Now, I've got to be clear, these prices are just a snapshot and can swing wildly. Depending on when you book, the Hub could be cheaper or the Premier Inn could be pricier. The main takeaway is that they're in the same ballpark, which makes this a fair fight. Okay, with the money talk sorted, let's get to the main event, the room itself. Walking into a standard Premier Inn room feels familiar. You know exactly what you're getting. And a big part of that is space. A typical room is usually in the ballpark of 18 to 22 square metres, giving you a decent amount of floor space, a proper desk and a chair, and often a small armchair. There's a wardrobe area, and there's plenty of room to move around the king-size bed without tripping over your luggage. It's a traditional, functional layout that's built for comfort, easily accommodating couples, business travellers and families. The design is simple, clean and reliable. Then you step into a Hub by Premier Inn and you can tell it's a completely different story. The first thing that hits you is the size. A standard Hub room is way more compact, typically around 11 to 14 square metres. That's a serious drop in space, and you feel it immediately. These rooms are engineered for maximum efficiency in prime city centre locations where space is at a premium, which is why you'll currently only find them in London and Edinburgh. But what the Hub lacks in size, it tries to make up with seriously clever design. They call it compact and contemporary. And that's spot on. In a standard room, the bed is usually tucked against the wall, so you have access to it from one side. Instead of a wardrobe, you get hooks on the wall or an open hanging space. The most ingenious part is the storage. Most of it is in a huge pull-out drawer under the bed. There's also a sleek pull-out desk that slides away when you're not using it, saving a ton of room. The Hub does offer bigger rooms for more space and a bed you can walk around, but even these feel more condensed than a standard Premier Inn room. Some locations also have windowless, ambient rooms, which are pitched as quiet, dark sanctuaries for sleep. So who wins this round? It's a classic case of space versus smart design. The Premier Inn gives you room to breathe. It's comfortable, predictable, and you won't feel hemmed in. The Hub, on the other hand, is a masterpiece in using a small space well. Every centimetre feels planned. For a solo traveller or a couple on a quick city break, the Hub's design is innovative, giving you access to city centre locations that may otherwise be out of your budget. But if you plan to spend real time in your room, or you're travelling with a lot of luggage, the generous size of the classic Premier Inn is tough to beat. Let's call this one a draw. It really depends on what you need. This is where the two brands really show their differences. Technology is at the absolute heart of the Hub experience. A common feature in many rooms is a slick touchscreen control panel on the headboard. From bed, you can control the room's lighting, dimmers and the air conditioning. It's modern, easy to use and genuinely handy. The room also has a good-sized smart TV, often a 40-inch model. There are also plenty of power points and USB ports. The whole setup feels designed for a modern traveller who lives on their phone. Now, let's look at a classic Premier Inn. A standard room is, well, standard. You get a TV, regular light switches, and a thermostat on the wall. It's a simple, no-fuss setup that works, but it feels very traditional in comparison. They both have free Wi-Fi, but for me, it just seemed faster and zippier at the Hub. However, Premier Inn has an answer to the Hub. the Premier Inn Plus room. For a variable surcharge, you can upgrade to a room with better tech and amenities. Premier Plus rooms often include an improved workspace, a mini fridge, an espresso-style coffee machine, nicer showers, and crucially, bedside USB ports, and the faster ultimate Wi-Fi included in the price. This upgrade comes some way to closing the tech gap with the hub, but you have to pay extra for it. Another important thing to note, while the hub comes with USB charging ports by the bedside as standard, you'll generally only find this in the newer standard Premier Inns. So if you're staying in one of the newer Premier Inns, you're likely to get the USB charging ports and power points on either side of your bed. But in an older Premier Inn, which is probably most Premier Inns that you're most likely to stay in, you don't have that. When it comes to tech, the hub is the clear winner right out of the box. Its integrated tech is standard and a core part of its identity. While a Premier Inn Plus room can come close, you're paying a premium for those features. For making modern tech a standard part of the deal, the hub takes this round. The bathroom is a big point of difference between a hub and a standard Premier Inn. In a hub, the bathrooms are consistently modern and stylish, featuring a proper walk-in monsoon shower as standard. They're compact but incredibly well designed. Now, contrast this with a classic Premier Inn. In my experience, many of their standard rooms come with a shower over a bath. That means you have to climb into a bathtub just to take a shower, which for me is a huge downgrade. While newer or refurbished Premier Inns are more likely to have a proper walk-in shower, and the Premier Plus rooms upgrade to a rainfall shower and nicer toiletries, the standard experience at a hub feels much more premium right out of the box. Another big difference is the food and drink. Many Premier Inn hotels have a full-service restaurant on site, or right next door, like a Beefeater or their own Time restaurant. They serve a full dinner menu and the famous unlimited Premier Inn breakfast. The breakfast price varies by location, but for somewhere around £11 you get a full cooked breakfast and continental options for a slightly cheaper price. This is a massive draw for families, especially since kids often eat free. Hub by Premier Inn has a totally different vibe. Hubs don't have full restaurants. Instead, you'll find a trendy modern lounge that acts as a cafe, bar and co-working space. The breakfast is a simpler affair, although some locations offer a few hot items for an extra charge. But here's the killer perk. A common feature in hubs is free unlimited tea and proper coffee from a machine in the lounge, often available throughout the night. While this is partly to make up for the lack of tea and coffee making facilities in your room, it is a fantastic touch that saves you a few quid on your morning coffee run. The choice here comes down to your travel style. Premier Inn offers a traditional full-service dining experience that's dependable and great value for families. The hub is built for the urban explorer who wants to grab quality coffee and a quick bite before hitting the city. For the excellent free coffee and stylish lounge, the hub feels more in tune with a modern city break. But the sheer value of the all-you-can-eat Premier Inn breakfast is hard to argue with. Another thing to take into account, Premier Inns have been around a while. Premier Inn has been around a while, and they do have a lot of hotels throughout the country. But because they have so many hotels and they've been established for so long, a lot of their hotels are much older, and some are newer. And there's a lack of consistency between their older hotels and their newer hotels. In contrast, the hub is a relatively new concept. So regardless of which hub you stay in, it's going to be a fairly new hotel. And because of that, there's a much greater consistency from one hub to the next. Putting aside the direct comparisons, it's clear that these two brands are built on different ideas. Premier Inn is all about consistency, comfort and space, no matter where you are. With hotels all over the UK, including near motorways and in the suburbs, it's a reliable choice for families on a road trip, business travellers, and anyone who just wants a dependable, comfortable room. Hub by Premier Inn is a much more focused concept. It's designed specifically for dense central locations in major cities like London. The entire philosophy is to trade room size for a prime location and a more accessible price point in an expensive area. It's for the traveller who sees their hotel as a high-tech base camp for sleeping and recharging, not a destination in itself. It's for the person who values slick design, smart tech, and a great address above all else. So, after staying at both, which one comes out on top? The honest answer is neither. The real winner depends entirely on who you are and what type of trip you're taking. The Classic Premier Inn is the champion for families, business travellers needing a proper desk, and anyone who values space and the comfort of a traditional hotel with an on-site restaurant. If you want a larger room to spread out in, the Classic Premier Inn is the easy choice. Its Premier Plus rooms are also a great option, adding a dash of tech and luxury for a reasonable price. However, Hub by Premier Inn is the champion for the modern urban explorer. It's perfect for solo travellers and couples on short city breaks who care most about location and technology. If you want to be in the absolute heart of the city, love innovative design, and plan to be out and about most of the time, the Hub is a brilliantly designed solution. The smart layout, integrated tech, and perks like free 24/7 coffee make a fantastic value. Ultimately, Whitbread has cleverly created two excellent, distinct products for two different types of travellers, all under one trusted name. The real winner here is you, the customer, because you get to pick the experience that's the perfect fit for your next trip. So, which one would you pick? Are you on Team Classic or Team Hub? Let me know your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. I read every single one. And if you found this useful, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications for more Hotel Showdowns. Thanks for watching.